Hello everyone, thank you for joining me today at Everything AeroPilates. This is the AeroPilates 55 4 minus dash 4358, or they call it the AeroPilates Plus 358. And the whole point of this is that in the move, somehow this carriage got put on upside down. And another thing that happened in the move is that the straps got taken off. So oddly enough, this is the actual head, and here you can see is the head on the platform. So this was put on upside down sometime before the move, probably just not noticed. Maybe the carriage can come off sometimes when you're trying to move it around. Not if you use the wheels, but if you're trying to lift it up like into a truck. So the carriage must have come off, and then whoever put it back on upside down. I don't remember if that was me. So as you can see, again, this is the head, and you can see these don't have the end caps, so we'll put those on too. But this is the head support, and it's facing the cords and the feet, and that would not be a very efficient way to do the workout. So what I wanted to show you today is how to remove the carriage, and this is useful if you have a ripped carriage. Let's just say this got a rip in it during the move. I had it wrapped up, so I didn't want it to get ripped. But if it had gotten a rip, and let's just say, you could do duct tape. There's things you can do to repair it. But if that really bothered me, and it really would, especially on this pretty of a carriage, if it is ripped and I had to put duct tape or something on it, that would really bother me. And let's say I wanted to change the carriage, and that's what I'm getting to. If you have a ripped carriage, you want to buy just the carriage. I don't really know if that part is available through Stamina. I will do some research for all of that very soon. You have to go through like this email process, so or maybe I could call. So I'll try to call them soon and see what we can get the replacement of. But I do see carriages every now and then on eBay for sale. There's one right now, but they really stripped it. So I don't recommend buying one that's pretty stripped, because it's really gonna add up. You're gonna have to buy the carriage. They took off the head support. They took off the wheels. You want one that's complete that you can just slide onto your model. But anyway, back to our point at hand. Let's say for some reason, instead of rolling your AeroPilates away, your husband tried to brute lift it and the carriage slid off, and you have to put it back on, and maybe he put it back on upside down, and so like my situation, you have to put it back on. So the correct way so that you can use your AeroPilates. Now I have this laying down, and that's because I'm 5 foot. If you're taller, you can have it stood up. Can you see that one? Yeah. You have it stood up like that, and you could just lift the carriage off. I'm not that tall, and I could do it, but it would be a little more difficult. So even if you have some kind of, arm, shoulder mobility issue, you can lay this down. Or just if you think it's easier. So I'm just going to slowly roll the carriage off. And it rolls right off because it's folded. So I say, okay. We're going to touch down with the wheels. All right. And we are off. And I know you can't see all of that, but so now this could be like a rolling. It could go for a little ride. No, you really can't. The wheels don't, they just go front and back. So we have the carriage off. I'm going to lift this up so I don't scratch the floor. I really should have put something under here. When you have the end caps on, you don't have to worry about the frame on the floor because it'll protect it. Well, maybe you still, depending on your floors. Some floors are, not as sturdy, so you might be more prone to scratches. So you can always have something under here when you're doing this. Okay, so now I'm going to take the carriage. I have it lifted up, and I'm just turning it around, and I'll bring this up here. You can see the wheels, okay, and the wheels. Now this is a little heavy. I don't really suggest lifting it unless you need to. And now we're gonna go back and make sure you have enough space to start at the end, and you're gonna line up those wheels. Lift up the back so that it's even. Slide the carriage. Now you're going to have the back wheels that you also have to line up, and I'm just feeling for it. It's easy enough to feel for it. Just be careful that you don't pinch your fingers. And your carriage is back on, and it is in the right position. Now at this angle, it's going to slide right back off. But let's see. Okay, I'm just putting the foot bar lightly in there because I don't want the carriage to fall off. Because I want to put on the end caps real quickly so that the floor is more protected. And now I had to find what I did with the end caps, so I will be right back.